And now it's time to transform your life in 15 minutes. Here's your host, Pia McAdams.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Transform Your Life. My name is Pia. I'm an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and also fitness. And on this morning's live broadcast, this is where we're doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And before we get started today, I just want to thank you for taking the time to either watch this live broadcast, or if you're watching recording, I appreciate you as well. So today we're going to be talking about how to accelerate time. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever been so engrossed in something that you just came completely unaware of time? You know, that happened to me this past weekend. I went to go see the Black Panther, and that movie, I think it's like a 2-hour movie, but I tell you, it was like, next thing I know, I blinked and the movie was over with. There were just so many good lessons, good storyline, good plot. I mean, it was just an overall good movie. And the next thing I know, the movie was over. But I mean, literally, it was almost like a 2-hour movie. But it just went by so quickly. Well, guess what? This concept of time going by quickly is called time quickening. And this is where your perception of time is you have an altered perception of time because you're so engrossed in doing something, particularly when it comes to reaching your goals. So yesterday I shared with you the story of Picasso when he met the woman in the restaurant, and how she didn't want to pay $10,000 for an artwork that he drew on a napkin that only took him 5 minutes. But he's like, it took me 5 minutes to draw, but 40 years to learn how to draw. And so, can you imagine again, 40 years spending that much amount of time trying to pursue your goals? I mean, for some of us, 5 or 6 or 7, however long it's going to take you, just the concept of that time, of the amount of time it's going to take is enough to just kind of stop you in your tracks like a deer in the headlights, oh, wow, can't do that. Well, today I'm going to share with you 5 steps that's going to help you accelerate time. And I know this is you're like, wait a minute, why are you trying to accelerate time? I mean, especially as we get older, it seems like time just goes by quicker and quicker. I want to slow down time. Well, remember, this is just a concept of accelerating time in order for you to reach your goals. So let's say it's going to take you 5 years to reach your goals, but that a span of time like that, 5 years to you is so overwhelming that you only want to get started. Well, if you understand this concept and take these 5 steps, it will help you get started. Now, it's not going to necessarily speed up, but it's just, again, it's going to help accelerate your action so that you reach the goals. Next thing you know, it's going to be like the movie. You're going to wake up 5 years from now and you're like, oh, wow, I'm here and I've reached my goals, just like in the movie. All right, so grab your pen and paper and let's get ready to talk about these 5 steps that's going to help you accelerate the goals, or accelerate time, so that in order for you to be able to reach your goals. All right, so the first step is your environment. You want to make sure that you find a working environment that's going to keep you free from distractions, okay? And that's very, very important. You want to be free from distraction because, again, this is where you're going to be working on whatever it is that you need to work on in order for you to reach your goals. And we've been talking about, self-discipline, okay? This is all a part of having self-discipline. Now, when I say free of distractions, that even means this little thingy right here, right? The little cell phone. Turn that thing on Do Not Disturb. There is a function, in case you don't know, it's underneath your settings, okay? There's a settings on there that says Do Not Disturb. You don't have to put on airplane mode where, that's the, extreme, you can. But there's actually a function called Do Not Disturb. And with the Do Not Disturb, your phone will not ring. You will not get text messages. You will not get email. Literally, it will not disturb you. Now, for some of you may say, for instance, you may need to just not even put the cell phone in the same room, because just by having that cell phone, nearby is going to be a distraction for you because you're so used to checking it. So, for instance, if you don't need the cell phone, you're not going to be expecting or taking any calls anyway. Don't even have it in the room. Okay. Don't even have it in the room because it may be a distraction for you, but you want to have this, your work environment free from distractions or free from potential diversions. Okay. Now, also too, I know some of you have home office space or home space where you need to work. If that's not conducive for you to be distraction free, you might want to find somewhere else. You might want to go to a library or somewhere else, where it's just quiet, where you can just actually focus and work. All right, so that's step number 1. Now, step number 2 requires for you to focus on the task until it's completed, or at least get as much done as you set out to do. Okay, so that's number 2. Step number 2 is just to focus on the task, whatever it is. Don't have your mind like, squirrel. And I have to admit, like that's me sometimes, because there's so many things, there's so many projects that I'm working on, that when I become, like for instance, when I set a time frame to work on one specific project, that doesn't mean that the other ones are not rolling around in my head, say, oh, you could be doing this, or you could be doing this. All right, but it requires focused effort on the task at hand, and you're going to stay with it until you complete it, or complete as much as you set out to do. All right, so that's step number 2. Now, step number 3 is you're going to plan to work uninterrupted for several hours. Now, this is key. Okay, so, in other words, I'm not just talking about hours, several hours if you can. Just plan to work uninterrupted. Now, think about it. Think about how on point you're going to be, because you're in an environment you're not going to be distracted. There's not going to be any potential diversions like a cell phone or whatever. Then you're going to be focused on the task at hand, and then you're going to be uninterrupted for several hours. I mean, right there. I mean, I could stop right there, and you got a win-win-win situation. But there is step number 4. Now, step number 4, and this is very, very important, is don't watch the clock while you're working. Okay, so for instance, if you do have the cell phone in here with you, for instance, the reason why I say some of you may have the cell phones, maybe you play music on yourself. I don't know why you would have it in there, but if you don't need it, don't have it. But if there's like clocks around, like I have a clock there, but the clock is one of those, it's not a digital clock, right? It's one of those old school type of clocks, and the face is very, very small. But I don't look at it because I can't see it without my glasses anyway. Wait, can I see it? No, I take that back. I can't see it. I was reading without my glasses. I can see it, but I'm just not in the habit of looking at it. But don't look at the clock while you're working. And also, very, very important, don't compare how much you've accomplished with how much you have left to do. Okay, so that's very, very important again. Okay, step number 4, again, don't look at the clock, and then also don't compare how much you've accomplished during that time frame with how much you still have to do. All right, and then number 5, and this is probably one of them, all of them important, right? But this is also important. They're all important. But number 5 is to stop working when your brain becomes muddled because of fatigue. All right. So, and when this is, like, there's no set time frame or whatever. When you're fatigued, and when you're fatigued, a lot of times what we try to do is we try to push ourselves through it. You don't have to. Let me explain to you why. In your normal everyday thing of how you've been doing things before, then maybe that helped. Maybe it didn't. But remember, what we're doing now is we're doing something different, because with change, and if you want something different, you have to do something different. So when you're trying these 5 steps, this is something different. And the something different is when your brain becomes fatigued, you stop working. You've already put in the time frame. You've been focused. And keep in mind that when you become very, very focused on your work, your mind will become fatigued. Don't try to push through that. That's your indication that it's time for you to stop. And again, it's subjective, depending upon you. I know, like, when I'm really working hard, like, my brain just gets on fire because it's just working, it's working on that one task at hand. It's several hours. And I know when I become fatigued, I just stop. Okay, I immediately stop. And you're going to feel accomplished because, again, you've taken all the 5 steps in order to reach your goals. And by the time, if you take these 5 steps consistently on a day-to-day basis, or for instance, I'm saying day-to-day, for some of you, you can't take several hours every single day, right? Why not? Don't you take several hours to watch TV? Several hours to do whatever it is you want to do. Well, don't you want to pursue your goals? Okay. So if it's not, if it's not every single day, then whatever time frame that you set out to pursue your goals, but just understand that when that time is over, when your brain becomes fatigued, just stop working. All right, so I've shared with you the 5 steps that's going to help you accelerate time. And the purpose, again, to accelerate time is for you to be able to reach your goals. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful for you. And now we're going to move and transition to the second portion of the broadcast. And this is where we're going to be doing. So we're going to put some movement in it. By the way, happy Wednesday, happy hump day to you. Let's see what we got here going on. Make sure I got all my little goodies. God, do I seem like I'm tired today? Actually, I am. I went to bed kind of late. That's one of the things, I got to be honest. My morning routine, sorry, I'm trying to get this speaker, which is like suction cup to my desk. There we go. My morning routine is solid. Like, seriously, I get up early. There's no problem. I got the accountability. One of the things that I do definitely have to work on is my evening routine. I think I mentioned to you at one point that I'm not naturally a morning person, right? I love staying up late. So if I stay up late, obviously you want to sleep in. But I've converted. I've done one of those 360s. I've converted, or was it the 180? I've converted to now being a morning person because I have a morning routine. But my evening routine, I still sometimes go to bed, late. Sometimes, like I said, my brain's fatigued. I'm tired for whatever I go to bed. But last night I was up late, and even if I go to bed late, like let's say it's after midnight or whatever, I still get up early and I'm still energized and still motivated. So that's kind of like the problem. Now I will say this. Now, to my defense, I'm able to take naps during the day. So, like for instance, today I'll be able to take a nap because, yes, I am kind of feeling a little tired. But not so tired that I'm not so excited to be doing yoga with you. By the way, you're going to take your 3 deep breaths to get yourself centered, grounded, and aligned. You're also going to set your intention on what it is that you want to accomplish on this next 5 minutes. And by the way, it was like 30 some degrees here in Southern California yesterday. It was so cold. Remember I mentioned how I have hardwood floors, I was freezing? Well, yeah, I checked the weather. It was like 30 something degrees. So this is crazy. This is Southern California. I know. Those of you in the East Coast, you're like in the snow. You're like, really? Those of you below, I know you're like, really? But come on, I moved here to California. I expect the weather to not drop below 70. Okay? Spoiled like that, Shoot me. Anyway. So today I was a little bit more prepared. I actually slept with the heat on, so it's kind of warmer in here today. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and meet me on the mat. All right, so we're going to be in our tabletop position. Palms are directly underneath your shoulders, knees are directly underneath your hips. Head is in natural alignment with your spine, which is in a nice neutral position. It's not rounded, it's not arched. And again, you're going on internally to see what's going on inside of you. Are there any strains, any stress, any tension, any tight areas in your body? I'm kind of just moving side to side. Just do what feels comfortable with you, for you. The thing about yoga is there's different poses that we're going through, and it's all about the movement, but it's all about going on internally and using your breath to get in alignment with the moves, okay? So don't just go through the movement because I'm saying go through. You should be feeling your way through the movement. It should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, then it's possibly that you're not doing it correctly, okay? So use your breath, okay? Very, very important. Use the nice deep Ujjayi breaths. All right, let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your chin down to your chest. I want you to round through the spine and tuck your tailbone under. Press those shoulder blades down, armpits toward the mat. As you inhale, your head and chest comes forward, arch your back. Again, always continuously press those shoulder blades away from your ears. This time the tailbone sticks out toward the back of the room. And as you inhale, take it back to the cat. And again, cat-cow, is one of my favorite positions. One of the favorites to really start off with, too. It just overall feels good. Not even mentioning the mechanics of what it does for you, internally and externally, it just feels good. And a lot of times we should go with what feels good. All right, one more time, nice deep breath. Inhaling. And as you exhale, we're going to curl those toes under and take it to downward facing dog. Now this one, I'm going to pedal my legs. Again, press your chest toward your thighs and your knees. Head is in alignment with the biceps. All right, let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath. On the inhale, we're going to come up on the top of our toes. And as we exhale, roll down to the balls of your feet, all the way down toward the heels. Let's do it again. Inhale, come up on the top of our toes. This time I want you to take the hips over toward the right, bend that right knee over toward the left. Give a nice big stretch. All right, return back to the center and release down. Come up again as you inhale. This time the hips go over toward the opposite direction. This should feel really good, a gentle stretch on the side. And remember, use your breath, full deep breath, and release it down. All right, keeping your palms down flat, we're going to slowly walk our feet in toward our palms. And then I want you to slowly round yourself up. Take it one vertebrae at a time. Making sure that your head is the last to rise. And we're going to come to Tadasana, mountain pose. So your feet are together, a slight distance apart. Your head is natural extension of the spine. Your chest is lifted. Your shoulders are drawn back in toward your spine. So we inhale, we're going to take those arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to swan guide the body forward. Remember, use your full breath. Just go down, feel whatever comfortable to you, depending on your flexibility. Inhale, look up halfway. Flatten out the back. As you exhale, you're going to place your palms down and step back, right, left into the plank. As you continue exhaling, release your knees, your chest, and then your chin. And as you inhale, we're going to take it up to the cobra. Remember, I'm doing the full, complete cobra, but if you need to, modify. And as we exhale, we're going to curl those toes under and take it to downward facing dog. Just a couple breaths here. All right, let's go ahead and bring our knees down toward the mat. Uncurl those toes, and let's take it up. Let's do the camel. So I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to place it on my right ankle and my left hand. And I find it in my left hand on my left ankle. Now I'm doing the full version, but if you need to modify, just place your hands here. And this is the modification. All right? Remember, use your breath and breathe. Slowly release it up. Let's extend that right leg out to the side. Left knee comes forward, making sure that it's directly underneath your shoulder. Okay, so that you're in alignment. All right, take a nice deep breath, inhaling. And as we exhale, we're going to take it over toward the right. Inhale, and take it over toward the left. Again, you can modify and be here, or take it all the way down. Relax the shoulder. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. And then inhale. And exhale. All right. Let's go ahead and place the palms down flat. We're going to go to the opposite side of the mat this time. Take it back to the plank position. As you exhale, release your knees, uncurl your toes, and take it all the way down. Inhale. And then curl your toes under and exhale. All right, go ahead and release the knees down toward the mat. Uncurl the toes and take it up. Again, you can modify by placing the hands on the smaller part of your back. And then relax as you exhale. And remember, you're just going back to whatever feels comfortable. So if this is as far as you can go, then feel free. Again, what I'm doing is I'm squeezing my shoulder blades in toward my spine so that the elbows are pointing straight behind me. So they're not bowed out, they're pointing straight behind. And again, my hands on the small of my back, just on the upper part of my glutes. And you're breathing. All right, go ahead and release it. Rotate as you take the opposite leg out toward the side. Again, making sure that right knee is directly underneath your shoulders. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale. And then inhale. And exhale. Remember, feel free to modify. Inhale. And exhale. And then inhale. And exhale. Now go ahead and rotate. Place the palm down flat. Take it back. Again, release your knees, your chest, and then take it all the way down. Inhale, take it up, looking over that right shoulder. And release. As you exhale, look over the opposite shoulder. And release. Curl the toes under and take it to downward facing dog. Now slowly walk your feet in toward the palms. Again, keep the palms flat. So if you need to, go ahead and bend your knees. And then let's take our hands and clasp the elbows. Forward fold in Uttanasana. Let the crown of your head bring your body weight naturally forward. As you inhale, just kind of hold your position. So it's okay if you're here. And as you exhale, just kind of release and just kind of relax. And again, this is all on the exhale. All right, go ahead and release the fingertips down toward the mat and then slowly round it up. Taking it one vertebrae at a time. Again, making sure that your head is the last to rise. Let's come to Tadasana. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, guide the body forward. Place the palms down flat. Walk your feet out. Toe heel toward down the edges of the mat. Exhale, release the tailbone down toward the mat. Using your elbows to push out on those inner thighs. Bring your palms together at the heart center. Bow your head down, Malasana. And go ahead and extend some gratitude. And then release your palms to the mat, take them behind you, and then slowly transition yourself into a comfortable seated position, facing to the front, making sure that you're on your sits bones and not the fleshy part of your bottom. All right, go ahead and take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose, and exhale. Again, nice deep breath, inhaling, and exhale. One more time, nice deep breath, inhaling. This time bringing in all that positive energy. You're going to greet the palms together at the very top. We're going to exhale, bring them right down to the heart center. And we say, Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with me. This brings us to the third and final exercise of the day. This is where we're going to be doing our meditation. All right, so some quick instructions here. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be breathing and counting your exhales. You're going to be doing that for 2 minutes, okay? So without manipulating your breath in any shape, form, or fashion, just breathe as you normally would, but you're just going to count your exhales. And while you're counting, if your mind becomes distracted by either outside noises or internal noises known as thoughts, you're going to first acknowledge the distraction, and then you're going to redirect your attention, your focus back to your breath, and you're going to continue counting, but you're going to start all over with the count of 1. All right, before we get started, we know what to do. Set your intention. Again, a good intention for this next part is to maintain your focus for the complete 2 minutes. You're also going to get yourself centered, grounded, and aligned, so we're going to take 3 deep Ujjayi breaths. And remember, this exercise, this meditation is only for 2 minutes, okay? So can you find 2 other minutes, just 4 total minutes throughout 24 hours today to do this type of meditation, all right? Questions on you. Take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose, and exhaling through your mouth. Again, deep breath, inhaling through your nose, and exhaling through your mouth. One more time, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and close your eyes and begin counting. release, relax, return refreshed and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. Thank you for meditating with me, and thank you for taking the time to watch this Transform Yourself in 15 minutes. Again, I appreciate if you share this information with your family and your friends. Remember, sharing is caring. Now, your word for today is kindness. I want you to have a day filled with kindness, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye.